right, everyone, as you can see, I have Mr. Norfleet and Mr. Daines with me. They stopped in to say hello to everybody, and I wanted to ask their opinion on what they do and what they're doing during this coronavirus epidemic we're going through, and what they do at home maybe to relax, if they're doing any individual training, what you guys might be able to do at home when you watch these videos. So first of all, how are you two dealing with the social distancing, so to speak? What are you up to? What are you doing at home? Are you still working? Are you both actively working?
Yes.
Both of you? Good. So this hasn't affected you guys financially as much as some other types of jobs so far. That's good.
No, luckily.
That's good.
My wife and I talk about that. We've talked about that, just how fortunate we are to work in an industry where we still are able to go to work. So.
Yeah, I think most people would agree that depending on what you do for a job, this will affect everyone differently. I heard a good analogy, we're all in the same storm, but we're in different types of boats. And that makes good sense. I mean, some people are going to profit from this. Some people are going to take advantage of others because of this. Some are going to go bankrupt because of this. Some are going to rely on the government assistance for this. Some are going to rely on communities. So as the dojo, we're a pretty tight-knit group here. What are you guys, are you doing any individual training, or is it more mental training, or are you just trying to keep from being depressed with all this bad news? What tips could you guys give to those watching who are stuck at home, besides just watch and stand up and practice the videos that we're sending out? What would you recommend? Anything?
I'll let you go.
I do work for a large grocery chain in the area, so I'm still physically going to work, and I get to see what is going on with the chain itself, and then I get to come home and see the kids there. So my wife can work from home while the kids are off from school, but as a family we've been doing more walks as a group, so that's it's not that it's new, but we get more of those chances. I've been spending a lot of time gardening and taking advantage of the great weather, and not that I have the ability to go get new plants, but now that it's become spring, I can divide the plants and put them in different places and really take the time to think and look at what's going on, and then get my hands dirty in that. So that would be my physical activity of getting in the yard and enjoying the weather and the dirt and the plants coming out of their dormancy. Mental aspect is I'm pretty even keeled. So my training has been going over my notes and the key homes and rewriting the information so that I get that chance to see the words again. And then spending time with the family, just being next to them.
I think the idea of having some control over something in our life is important, right? Because when we feel like we can't control anything that's happening, like you feel in control of the outdoors, the landscaping, I think that's so cool. I say nature, being part of nature, going out and walking, exercising, being with the family, but just feeling the sun on your face will help from keeping people getting depressed, I think. Because you watch the news, it's all negative. Nature is like neutral. You can be positive or negative with nature, but usually you feel great when you go out for a walk, even if you go in the backyard throwing a frisbee with a dog or something, or getting your hands dirty and feeling in control of something. For me, when I was at home, I was doing music, which I felt in control of, painting, and I was cleaning, because I was taking control of some part of my life, which might be cleaning the bathroom, cleaning the bedroom, just keeping some small space where I'm in control. That kept me very positive and uplifted versus just watching the news and feeling powerless over what's going on. What do you do?
Well, I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I won't do that. I have done outside work, but that's because it's springtime and I've had to. Certainly not because I enjoy it. We are going on more walks, but that's typical for this time of year. From a mental aspect, everybody that knows me knows I exercise, so my exercise routines haven't changed. In fact, like I said, last year or so I started spinning. So now we have the studio that Bridget and I spin in has allowed us to rent bikes. So now we have actual spin bikes at home. So we're starting that. And that's a great activity that she and I get to do together. And then as far as, so just my normal exercise, then this is gets to be normal again. And I think from a mental aspect, that's helped because it's normal. It's normal again to be able to go, okay, I got to go get on that bike. It's normal again to be able to be sitting here today, right? Just walking in and feeling and smelling and just being in the dojo makes me feel so good. Yeah. As far as my training, my wife and son are sick of I've started teaching them all level 1 techniques.
Oh, good.
Right? So
That's great.
and I made a joke the other
That's
day.
awesome.
I said, hey, at the end of this, I'll just award you both, yellow belts.
Yeah.
I said, you got to come test. And just working on that, just to teach felt good, right? Because they don't know. They don't know the techniques, they don't do it. So that's been really fun for me. And then I wrote down, because you had said something about what you're doing at home, and I'm finding I have more time to read. So I've finished a couple books now, right? Just that I didn't have time to do before, because when we're here, you're dedicated to this, and that's one of the things that we tell all of our students. When you're here, you're not thinking of paying bills, you're not thinking of COVID-19, you're not thinking of the troubles outside of the dojo, you're thinking of the techniques. So I think not do that, or not allow my brain to wander, I've started reading again, which is, I've always read, but I've really been able to sit down untapped for 2 hours if I want to, which is really great.
That's one of the keys of the dojo, is the fact, like he said, when we come and train, we are in the moment. You're not thinking about viruses or whatever, zombie apocalypses, whatever it is. You're just thinking about, first of all, for the Bushi and myself, who have more invested than anyone else as far as time, money, energy, than anyone watching, it's worse for us not to come in and train. It's more because it's like losing an arm. Someone that might be a yellow, black belt that's only been here a few months, they don't care as much if they don't come to class, where it's been part of our life for well over a decade, some cases 2 or 3. It's crazy to think that we can't come in and train right now. And I have to distract myself so that I don't get depressed about not training, and the family atmosphere, the positive aspect of seeing friends that care about how you're doing each day. I miss that terribly. The social isolation can be very hard on your mind.
Our days are getting lost.
Yeah.
And we don't know what day it is right off the bat. You're always thinking about what's happening. It's the lack of structure of being able to come here and see everybody on certain days and get back into it, and reminding you of that family of, getting back into it.
Well, what you just said reminded me of something I was telling. Every story I'll have now for the next couple weeks will be when I was talking to Bridget or Bruce, right?
Right.
But anyways, I was talking to her about how much we laugh. Like when we're in the dojo and we're working out, we always we're just having so much fun. So to walk in and see each other's face, it's so great, because it's been for us, like some people wouldn't understand, like if we go 2 or 3 weeks without seeing each other, that feels like an eternity.
Yeah.
And not laughing, right? So because we laugh so much when we're all together, and it's so therapeutic in a way.
Right.
I was watching comedy stuff on Netflix, because that gave me the opportunity to laugh, because I'm missing that, right? Yeah. Just even that kind of the camaraderie that we get outside or on the mat that we don't necessarily get out in a normal society is immeasurable.
Yeah, the routine of the dojo is something we chose in our life. Without that, the days just melt into each other, and there's not a lot of light coming our way lately.
I would say the routine and the discipline.
Yeah, the discipline.
Right? We laugh a lot when we're on the mat, but we're also very disciplined. You're here at a specific time. You have specific techniques to do. You have keyhones. You have things that you're working towards, and that takes discipline. And
even preparing for the next class.
Yes.
Preparing the night before
what you're
for
going
what
to teach.
You're going to do.
What you guys will have to do at home, and you'll agree, is what happened is, like a rug, the goals were pulled out from under our feet, right? All of our goals as far as getting a new belt, getting a new weapon, keyhole, whatever it might be dojo-wise, just getting better at rolling or something. Now the problems have changed, right? The priorities are, how am I going to get food on the table? How am I going to make mortgage this month? All of you out there going through the same thing. What am I going to do with my children at home? I can't teach them and work from home. I'm having all these issues with getting them, what's happening to their education. It's on hold. Well, the same thing happened to us. But we need to find a new routine that we can do at home. So that's why we're sending out videos so you guys can practice at home and get up and at least move and feel like you're training and not lose your goal. So even if you are at home, you should not be stopping your physical training. You should be grabbing a sword or kicking a tree or doing something, standing up, stretching, reading books, whatever you can do to keep your martial art training physically and mentally active. I think that's really important. We were discussing possibly trying to bring more technology to you guys through live classes, if that's something you would like, where we can actually set up a Zoom account. People can log in and actually take a class with us live from your house. You can be by yourself and we'll all have all our videos on and we can just do stuff, maybe a couple classes a week if you guys are interested in that. What would you guys say about something like that? Is that something we could do here? I think we could make it work.
I have a couple of thoughts on that.
Okay.
And one of the neat things is if students are looking to do that, it could also be a good opportunity to have a chance to have other members of your family see what you do and participate to a certain extent, right? They can sit there and watch you do whatever it is that you're doing on camera, or whatever it is we're teaching. Some things are just, and we need to think about that because we need to think about it from a legality perspective, right? We have to have that conversation. But even if it's just, if we're doing ukemi or we're doing, this is how you do a break fall or a mummy drop, right? Whatever, our students understand what that is. And then we can run specific classes on requests. We can run specific classes on what techniques that maybe in some cases that we're working on, or curriculum techniques. We could do whatever it is that we're thinking of doing, or that we want to do. I think that Zoom is a good way to do it. And it would need to be to students that are up to date with their dues, right? Because some of the information that we're going to give, I don't want to go out to everybody. And I think that this dojo is here to serve the community, but we have to keep our lights on, right? And I think that we can provide really great content. We just need to figure out what's fair for our students.
Yeah, because these will be private links, I assume. They won't be for the public. So you guys watching, it'll just be like a regular class. So it's very important that you support the school right now because no income is coming in without your support and tuition. The dojo will close if not enough people are keeping up with their tuition. If you can't afford it, if you've lost your job, email, call me, and we'll work something out. But if you haven't been financially burdened by this, please consider it an obligation to continue to pay your tuition to keep us alive so that there's something to do when this ends and we can get back. And we want to serve you more than just stagnant videos that we send out. At least with a live class, you can stand up and do it with us. And you know, when you guys watch a video, it's not the same because you're not going to do it with the same enthusiasm as you would if we were watching you through a monitor. So if we said, hey, let's do 10 push-ups, you will do the push-ups with us live, or you will do the movements that we're doing. And we can have an uke here at the dojo in a safe environment, but you can be by yourself at home and still participate. You don't need an uke. You can literally just pretend at home or use your imagination.
Well, Mr. Norfleet has some good ideas, but I smile because I think it would be appropriate if I looked at the camera and just yelled, "Keep your hands up." And you didn't, so we got to drop down and do push-ups.
You always assume it's you.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that we mute you guys sometimes too, because you'll be yelling at us from home. I don't know much about Zoom, but In other words, as Ninja, we have to adapt to the technology that a lot of people are using now to serve their customers who are stuck at home, and we want to be on the forefront of that in the martial arts. We just don't want to do nothing for the next couple of months. We want to make sure we get you guys continuing, and maybe we can do something where you'll get stamps as you participate in the Zoom class. You will get your class stamp, so you might come back to a new belt by then if you continue to show us that you're enthusiastic about your training and you're not going to quit.
So what we'll probably want to do is, depending on the interest from our students, would be we would create a business account for Zoom.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that they would need is a free like user account, right?
Right,
And
like
that's-
Discord or something like
Yeah,
that, where
so
you just create it.
they'll put it on their computer and they'll be able to watch us live. And as long as they have a video on their computer, then we'll be able to see them, they'll be able to see us.
Okay.
And then it'll go out. What'll happen is if we say this was going to be our class at 6 tonight,
Yeah.
we would let everybody know and send out anybody we can send it to all paid students.
Yeah.
And then it'll show up as like a calendar invite, and they'll simply click on that link, and that'll allow them into that specific class. And then next class, if we had another class tomorrow at 6, that old link won't work. You're going to get a new one for every class. And then we'll be able to see the attendees for those classes. We can record those classes, so we can record them, and then you can post the videos later. So there's a lot of things that we'll be able to do for our students, and to your point, we'll know who's there. We'll know, and then be able to stamp.
What I think would be cool too is if we do there won't be an age structure with this, because if we do a sword class, well, anyone with a Zoom account, if you're 6 years old and you want to do a sword class, you can join us. Because you're at home, the liability is with you. Mm-hmm. So if you have a stick or a piece of a broom and you want to come to a sword class and you're 7 and you couldn't come to weapons classes because they were Tuesday and you had to do your homework, well, now we're at home. Anyone can do it. So if we just do, hey, we're going to go over level 1 techniques Tuesday at 6. Well, any level can come to that. Or we're going to do some level 3. I don't see why a couple people couldn't participate in that aren't in level 3. Or we're doing a bow class, hanbo class, a meditation. This is cool because when we set up these classes, they'll be for everybody, right. Most of them. Even little ninjas at home can still participate and try. Mm-hmm. If they have the enthusiasm to sit in front of a camera, they can get up and do ichimonji and roll and stuff. So that's exciting to me. I think the technology might make it more accessible to others that normally couldn't come late at night because they were doing homework.
And to think that, taking care of the school, then providing a service to get your money's worth out of that, but then that creates the family atmosphere back in.
Yes.
We get to get back into it. We get to see each other in that way. We get to move our body. We get to participate in a weapons class if we weren't able to prior. And then that technology is still there for when the school comes back and we start getting filtered in. That potential to use that technology is going to only continue to get better.
Yeah. And it's going to reach more people because when you think about it, your computer's at home. Well, you might have a brother or sister that wants to hop in with you. Why not? If the computer's at home and your grandma's in the background saying, I want to stand up and do a stretch or something, let them. This is the family atmosphere.
My mom loves it here.
Yeah, so your family can participate with you at home if they choose to. They may not want to. But they can sit and watch you exercise or, encourage you or make fun of you. I don't know what they're going to do, but that's pretty cool that because it's at home, you can have 5 people watching if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't limit what you do at home. That's great.
There's also because I might not have a sword at home, you could use the broomstick, you could use, but in reality let's say we're having a sword class, you only need something so big that you can hold your hands on. You don't need a full sword if you're worried about the ceiling height. You're worried about moving with it and moving correctly and moving around. If we're doing fire, if you have a bar stool at your countertop in the kitchen, that could be your opponent that you're moving by. you're slip slapping by, your brother or sister that is then kind of helping out. We want to take care of them, but they now can be an object, or there's just lots of different things that with the time that kids and adults have that are inside, that you can use your imagination specifically for the kids. They have actually, some of the teachers that I know are giving optional work. Learning about soil for science class, the optional work is to go outside and look at the soil and to dig their hands in. So the potential of doing something extra for school and getting credit for it, and then using it for the dojo, for your martial arts, is there.
Yeah, and you just said something, you were alluding to it too, Mr. Norcross, about using your brother or your sister or but also this could give your mom and dad an opportunity to do a class with you, right? Where they've never been able, because they have work, or they take the opportunity when their kids are here to run off and go to the store, because that's the only time they have to run to the store, right? Because everybody's so busy in their normal lives. Well, if they're working from home,
or not driving here,
or driving
drive
back,
time,
they might have an opportunity to take a class with their kids without having to be on the mat, right? Which could be pretty neat.
Yeah, the embarrassment factor could go way down.
And we can also, some of the coaches out there can also run something, so we could have a kids class, and Viva or Aiden or someone, Adam, they could come in and run a class specifically for kids, and of course we'd be here, or one of us would, filming, but we can have different guest instructors besides ourselves that could come in. If someone has a Kihon and says, do you mind if I do a Hanbo Kihon next Tuesday at 7? Why not schedule it if we can? So this can be a community event. If you're out there and you're a student and you're dying to teach something through Zoom, just get in contact with me and I'll see if I can set something up.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how the accounts are set up, because if it's just a business account, I don't know, or if it's a free account, I don't know if we could kick them over to be, like they could do it from home.
The head.
Because we do that at work. They certainly could come here.
Yeah.
But even if they wanted to stay at home.
Oh, I see.
Right, they could be the big screen. They
could do it at home. I need to see, we would need to play with that.
Because I'd love to participate with other people teaching, and I'm a student. I'd love that.
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
So what we'll do, guys, is we'll work on getting the Zoom together in the next couple of weeks. For now, we have at least 10 more, maybe a dozen more videos that we've already recorded for you guys for April for level 2, 3, 4, 1. Some more meditation stuff, some more elemental stuff that we will send out. But maybe in May we can start to implement something, or around there, where we can do more live stuff for people that are going to support.
And the stuff that you've already sent out is coming through on emails that the dojo already has, correct?
Yes, as far as I know, there are people who are currently members here, or the parents of, are getting our emails. No one else.
Right.
Now, not everyone has kept up with their tuition, so they might, some of those, in other words, if you're not paying, you can't get the Zoom access.
Right.
That's not fair to have someone who's paying a monthly tuition get access, and someone that is behind delinquent 2 months get the same access, because education has to cost something.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of interest we get from Zoom. And the other thing that we can think about is maybe if you're not a student but you're interested in it, maybe we could figure out a way to do per class even.
Yeah, because we have people through our YouTube channel that would love to join.
Right.
People around the world that are fans of the dojo that would love to do a class with us.
Yeah, so how great would that, somebody sitting in the UK that wants to take one of our classes, now they can. Now they have the opportunity. Okay, more to come, huh?
Yeah, anything you guys, any more advice you would give about things at home to keep yourself de-stressed? Like what can the kids do? Not watch the news is a good thing. Get in touch with nature, get some exercise, some vitamin D.
Get off the, you know what, I'll just, my public service announcement, get off the devices.
Yeah.
Right? Don't eat dinner with your family and have a conversation. I think that some of the best, could be an opportunity that hopefully we never see this again in our lives, but having the opportunity to disconnect and just be with your family for an hour,
Yeah.
sit down, eat dinner, I think that would be, I mean, I know it does me good, does my soul, my heart good,
Yeah.
and I would hope that others take that opportunity.
Yeah, rather than seeing how much our family annoys us, why not just step back in the third person perspective and say, wow, I'm really happy that I have this family.
Right.
You know, I lost my father, you guys know, last week. What I wouldn't give for a few hours a month to sit in the house with him again. So those of us out there who have a family, you know, they may annoy us, and they do, especially when they're in the same space. Turn it around and look at it from another perspective and say, what would I do without them? How would I be without these people in my life? The fact that they're here is literally a gift that we're being given right now for the next month or two. I think that's an important thing to never forget, right, is that family.
Yeah, and there's that thought of as a parent, as an adult that's having to go to work, that there could be those troubles of coming to and from or working from home. The thought of, well, look at the other side of it. You know, your kids are having fun because they're not at school, because they're hanging out with you, because they're making masks, you know, because they're doing all these extra things, because you're home, because you get to doing all these extra walks. Is that to try to put some of that anxiety and that frustration and the loss of control, push that aside and look at that positivity that quite literally is just sitting there, you know, to turn the device off and look at the person that's on the couch with you instead of staring at a screen or hiding away, but literally just your world is still sitting there.
Yeah. Probably the most important things in your world. Right.
So that's it for now, guys. So we're going to sign off here, but look for us more in the future. The Bushi haven't left. They're still here. We all miss you guys, I'm sure.
Very
and
much.
Some of you might miss us a little bit. We're not sure. So bear with us. We will get the technology rolling, and we're going to keep the dojo so that it's stronger and better than it has been. And maybe this technology is something permanent in the future. We don't know, but the idea of the ninja, that nin symbol, is to adapt with whatever's being thrown at you and use it to your advantage while benefiting the most people. What more can you ask for?
You know, you'd said something before we go that I thought of, that you just made me think of again, and that is everybody's journey to a black belt is different, right? And we say, like, if you get injured, it's part of your journey. If you have to take time off for financial reasons, it's part of your journey. Every step that you take up that mountain is part of the journey, and this is just another part of everybody's journey. It's part of your journey and my journey to 4th degree. It's part of your journey, right? And everybody out there, it's part of theirs as well. And I think that's something to remember. Yeah, it's just another step in the climb, right?
Another chapter in the book, right? Yeah, the Corona chapter, we'll call this.
Right.
And one day, 10 years from now, hopefully you guys all will remember this time. And we'll have some good memories as well as the bad, you know. So, all right, guys, we'll see you very soon. Keep training, keep practicing. We'll be in touch. See you later.
See ya.